All right, so I gotta let you all know about something. I think it's time to give you a little update on Miss Loni, our foster greyhound that has been here for almost half a year at this point. So we welcomed Loni into our home about 159 days ago. It was February 5th. She had just come off the racetrack that we rescued the greyhounds from, and she was assigned to us as a foster, and we took her. Kind of business as usual. And I'm just gonna kind of outline how it's all been, because you've been here, you know this is gonna be a review, but we had her for a longer than normal foster period. The foster period went on longer than normal. We struggled a little bit to get her a home, and then we found her a home. And she went to the home for just over 3 weeks and then bounced back to us. And this was the first time we had had a dog bounce back. So it was a new situation for us. It was new territory. It was uncharted. We didn't really know what to expect, both logistically, like what happens next with the dog, and then also emotionally, what happens next with us and the dog. So obviously it was a tough day. It was emotional. See, I remember, I think I told you, I was like, I'm gonna see Loni for the first time since she got adopted. And that day was the day that I saw her and basically learned from this person that they couldn't take her anymore. So it was a bittersweet day. And it's bittersweet to welcome her back into our home, because on one end, she is just a dream of a dog. She's so sweet and infectiously sweet. But on the other end, it was sad to see us, maybe not us, but the system fail her. And it was sad to see her come back and look at her in the eyes and you know, imagine that she didn't fit in somewhere. So we took her back, obviously, no questions. And I think from the moment she came back into our house, Jenna and I promised her and each other that we weren't gonna take any chances on an adoption. Not that we take chances when we adopt dogs to people, but when they bounce, it's different. They come back to you, something didn't work. Every situation has its own kind of nuance. But we basically said, like, okay, we know what she needs, and we're gonna make sure we give her every single thing that we possibly know that she needs to set her up for absolute success, because we, at all costs, do not want this dog to bounce twice. We just can't handle that. She can't handle that. You know what? They're resilient dogs, I think, you know, but regardless, we held on and we really started looking. I was fielding applications for months, as I do, looking around, talking to the other adoption reps, seeing who's available, maybe seeing who is interested in her. We had the Greyhound picnic where she wore her foster adopt me bandana. Didn't really get a whole lot of attention, which was a bummer. People kind of swung by our booth, looked at her, and just kind of moved on. And that was a hard day, but I also think it's important, and we kind of came to this moment where we were internalizing a lot of what we thought she was going through, when in reality, she was just happy to be at the park with the greyhounds. But it was hard to not internalize that, because you see this wonderful dog, and you see people passing her up left and right. And that was difficult, because as difficult as it would have been to see someone fall in love with her and take her, that's the goal. Goodbye's the goal. And so for that to just not happen over and over and over was hard. It was hard in person, it was hard at the picnic, and it was hard on a daily day basis, and it was hard on a week-to-week basis, and it's been hard, you know, not being able to find her a forever home. And I think after a few months, at a certain point, it just sort of occurred to us that she was vastly improving basically everything in our lives. She has brought Bunny further out of her shell than Bunny has ever been. She's basically been made Bunny's best friend. They don't go anywhere without each other. She has made the littles love greyhounds. Marbles will quite literally cuddle with Loni on the couch. She has made my job as an adoption rep easier, because now I have a greyhound that's an ambassador greyhound. I can take her to homes, doing home visits, and she can be there with me, and people can see a greyhound for their first time, and they can visualize a greyhound in their home, and it can be Loni. The list goes on, for all the reasons that we realized she was just kind of improving our lives. And we were teetering with the idea of like, oh, we should keep her, you know, maybe this is what we're supposed to do. Maybe this is our role here. And an application comes in and they single her out. And they really expressed interest in her. And Jen and I looked at each other and we said, okay, like, this is it. This is the moment. Like, we have been waiting for this. This looks like a good situation, and we need to do her justice and see if this, we need to see this through. And we talk to the people and we have this conversation and we talk about Loni, and it turned out that Loni wasn't a fit for them. It wasn't a fit for them. Upon learning about her as a dog and her personality and her energy level, wasn't a fit. They weren't interested once they heard about her. And so that was a few weeks ago. And I'm really happy to say that she's going to be here forever. We have adopted Loni, and it feels really good, and it feels like she belongs here. And we really tried. We tried and tried and tried. It was hard. It was really hard. We wanted to make it work for her, and it wasn't in the stars. So Loni is one of our pack now. She is sleeping so hard right now, but yeah. Bunny gets to keep her best friend. It was when we got that last application, we both were just crying, and it was hard because we hadn't really grappled with saying goodbye to her in a long time, because no one was giving her interest. And it finally came all at once, and we were like really upset and emotional, but also happy potentially, and it was just a lot. So she is our family now. Loni is here to stay, and she's here to make everyone's lives better. I'll have a really, really tough day, and I'll give Loni hugs on the couch, and Jenna will have a really tough day, and she'll cuddle up with Loni on the couch, and she's just so great. And I think looking at this Xena situation that we're going through with her bouncing, I think this would have been a lot harder without Loni. And I just feel very grateful to have her. And so yesterday was the 13th that we filed the paperwork. So I don't know, maybe that's her gotcha day. Yeah, we had her for about 158 days, minus a few weeks there where she was in another situation. I'm gonna grab her, hold on. Loni, get over here. Get over here. Come on. Huh? You want to stay? Are you tired? She is tired. You tired? And I'm aware that this might not be a huge shock to some of you. You know, maybe you saw this coming. You know, she's getting new collars and she's not leaving our home. So yeah, the signs were there, but yeah, congrats, baby. Welcome to the family officially. We need a Loni emote now. What? What are you even looking at? I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Are you too tired to kiss? She's tired. Just wait for Enol to come back. Yeah, unfortunately, when you adopt Loni, you adopt Enol too. So we essentially adopted 2 dogs. This is Loni. Enol will be here later. All right, I'll put you back in your bed, baby. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, that's a piece of news that I've been meaning to tell you, and you know, welcome her to the internet officially. She has an August birthday. She has a birthday coming up. She's a Leo. I also want to show you a couple pictures. This was the day we got her as a foster. This was February 5th of this year. And this is today. And this is her cosplaying as the dog on her collar. Like, that's actually Enol right here. I don't know how we found this collar, but so there it is. Loni is one of the pack. Someone who works in animal rescue, I found that black dogs are the hardest to find homes for. My state has a rescue dedicated to black dogs because they have the hardest time. You know, this is something that I never would have anticipated, but you're absolutely right. You know, greyhounds, I think, are just the most magical breed of dog. No matter what they look like, no matter what their gender is, whatever, you know. But something I have learned is you're absolutely right about that. I think what a lot of people looked at her and thought to themselves, and this isn't a judgment on these people, but yeah, it's a little icky, but you know, whatever. It's like they thought maybe she just wasn't that special. She's just a black greyhound. She wasn't brindle or red with spots or blue or, I mean, if people would have only given her the time of day, I mean, people missed out on an absolute winner of a pet. But yeah, it was a hard realization because we realized that too, and it's weird. I also know that, like, you know, in my first, this has essentially been like coming up on my first year of fostering. And I think in being really excited and a little bit green to the whole world that I'm in now of these greyhounds is I was maybe a little bit, I might have had a little bit of an unhealthy relationship with the term foster fail. And I know I talked about that, and I think I want to acknowledge that, you know, I want to acknowledge that. And I think part of me throughout this last 5 months was thinking to myself, like, man, like, I really hate the term foster fail. I don't want to become one. I don't want this to, you know, and I think I had an unhealthy relationship with that term. And I think it comes from me really just caring about the dogs and caring about their needs before mine. But I also think there comes a time in every foster person's life where they meet the one that was meant to not leave. And we met that dog with Loni. And I don't think it's a failure. I think it's just something that happens. I think it's an exception to the rule of you constantly getting dogs in their homes. Sometimes that dog isn't meant to leave you. So, you know, the amount of times I've caught her cuddling Marbles on the couch, and like she'll be asleep on the couch and Marbles will scoot up right next to, like on her back, not on her back, but like up against her back, and they'll just be sleeping together. And that is the sight I never thought I'd see. Like, Loni has made Marbles love greyhounds. How the fuck did you make that little old grumpy man fall in love with you as a breed? What? Crazy. She plays with Kermit, although to Kermit sometimes it's a little bit more than play, but Loni thinks it's adorable and plays with him. She like walks up to Peach and she'll kiss Peach. She's not real. She's not real. She's 2. She's still 2 years old. Marbles approval seals the deal. Yeah. Yeah, can we get an updated pack video? So here's another thing about Loni when it comes to videos and stuff. And Jenna and I have talked about this, about how she is just literally the perfect dog. No offense to Bunny, to make YouTube videos with. If I were, ever were to have a fun idea to have a greyhound in my video, I mean, she is game. She is just so funny and always down for whatever. So I might need to be making some more videos now that she's here to stay. And we'll celebrate Loni's birthday next month. It'll be Loni's first birthday at our house. We'll piggy dip and staying for good. So it's a good day.